Settle in. Settle in. First of all, thank you, everyone. Well, obviously, this is not the way we ever imagined or planned this special day. First, I want to thank everyone who's logged in to watch this culmination of all of Nate's hard work. It means a lot to us that you would give your time on this beautiful Saturday to our family. Thank you to the few people we have here, our pods, as they're called, for being the tribe that has raised Nate alongside Seth and I, and for sharing in this day. I want to thank Jody Harris for these last 6+ years of dedication to Nate's education. I'm being very honest when I say there was never one day that Nate complained about going to Hebrew school or acted as though it was a chore. And that's a testament to the program and the long-term friendships that you facilitated with these students. I also want to thank Eileen Geffen, who we just mentioned, who had the hardest job preparing Nate and all of his classmates individually for this day. Mrs. Geffen? It was rigorous, and Mrs. Geffen set her expectations high back when she worked with Juliet and now with Nate. In fact, Mrs. Geffen's high expectations became a little bit of humor in our house, especially these last 3 months when we noticed Nate starting to use her as an excuse. We thought nothing of it at first when he started saying things like, I can't go to bed yet. I'm doing my work for Mrs. Geffen, because, you know, Mrs. Geffen gets the job done. But when it started transitioning to things like, I know I haven't put my laundry away in 3 days, Mrs. Geffen, then we began to call his bluff. And especially to Rabbi Micah. When Jules celebrated this rite of passage a few years ago, the synagogue was transitioning to a new rabbi, and you would enter the party just months later. It has been nothing short of a blessing to have you in Nate's life. In addition to being a brilliant speaker and educator, you have always seen Nate for the unique kid he is and become a trusted advisor and friend to him. Your morality and the way you approach all situations with honesty and humor are exactly the type of role model we would have handpicked for him. You've also been a great non-judgmental source of wisdom and advice to me personally as well, and I can't thank you enough for everything. A few years ago, I stood here on this bema as we celebrated Jules, and I told this beautiful and emotional story about how this daughter of an interfaith couple, neither of who was particularly religious, looked to Jewish education all on her own. Well, as for Nate, I can't really tell the same story. Basically, the first temple bill came, and we were like, hey, Nate, guess who else is going to Hebrew school? I'm only half kidding. I'm only half kidding. If you knew Nate when he was little, you know that he wanted to learn, see, and do everything that Jules did. Not to copy her, but because he wanted to share every experience with her. He embraced religious education in a way that we never expected. Last year, we went to a few B'nai Mitzvahs, and we were floored by his knowledge and exuberance at the service. We started calling him Rabbi Hip Hop. The name Nathaniel is actually derived from the Hebrew, Nathanael, which means gift of God. As many of you know, that gift showed up 6 weeks early with zero warning, but great fanfare. Just kind of bulldozed onto the scene, and he came out doing this rhythmic grunting thing. Ironically, it sounded like he was beatboxing, which is funny now, but there was absolutely nothing funny about it at the time, and nothing funny about getting discharged from the hospital without your baby. The first 10 days of his life were an emotional roller coaster, and the first 6 to 8 months were also a great challenge. He needed to be attached to me at all times. I wore him in one of those front carrier baby Bjorns round the clock with his big blue eyes staring up at me 24/7. Nate on my stomach, Jules in one hand, and every day seemed difficult and endless until just one day it just wasn't anymore. Suddenly, baby Nate was dancing his feet in the car seat in the rearview mirror, and he always wanted mom's music. He didn't want any of that music and me kid stuff. At one point, his favorite baby song that we had to play on repeat was the Flo Rida song, Shorty got them apple bottom jeans, the boots with the fur. Suddenly, this tiny little guy had this wacky little personality, and it was everything. A few years later, we got our first gaming device, the Nintendo Wii, and the first game we bought was called Just Dance. We actually didn't buy it for him, even though we knew he already loved music. The very first song came on, TikTok by Kesha, and he wanted to do that dance over and over and over and over again. It was a little creepy that this 3-year-old picked up these moves so easily. So I thought maybe this is normal, but other people were like, this isn't normal. Then he started picking up the moves to all the other songs on the first try. Soon I started losing him in stores. He'd be talking to me and suddenly he would be gone. But I never panicked. I just had to backtrack to the last mirror, window, or reflective surface because I knew he got distracted and he would be dancing with himself. At this point, we knew we had a kid like no other, gift of God. Like every parent, we tried soccer, baseball, basketball, gymnastics. I mean, his father works in professional sports, so it's got to be genetic, right? Nope. He displayed some talent in any of these, but no interest. Despite the hint of some natural talent and our assumption that boys do sports, he did not enjoy the competitive nature, the screaming parents, or the seriousness of the atmosphere. He once told me on the sideline in soccer that if the kid wants the ball so bad, quote, he can just have it, I don't care. That's when I knew we did not have a sports kid, but he continued to dance on. I think one of the most crucial developmental things, my shout out to Seth here, to happen was that Seth never pushed Nate into any of those things. He very quickly mourned that he did not have a football kid, and then went all in on Nate's unique interests. Our days became full of the Nate and Juliet variety shows in our living room, acting out and choreographing things to Wiggles, The High Five, High School Musical, and we were always in the front row. Well, the only row. Yeah. Nate, it is your creativity that makes you one of the most unique humans most of us have ever known. I like to take some genetic credit for your artful mind and give some genetic credit to Dad for your bravery and your confidence, but you have far surpassed either of us. I give credit to Jules for protecting you since you were a baby, always being your partner, always being someone to look up to, and always setting a positive example, but I still don't really know where you came from. You are blessed with a natural ability to light up a room without trying. You make everyone laugh, sometimes without saying a word. Everyone who knows you loves you. Every parent-teacher conference has been a discussion of why your personality is such a positive driving force in the class. Every dance show ends with me being flocked by complete strangers who tell me they look forward to seeing you specifically every year. As you get older, your heart grows bigger, your humor grows stronger, and you get wiser and braver. In this past year, I've seen you stand up for your friends and fight for the basic human rights of others. This is where we begin to see this true rite of passage that Rabbi was explaining, becoming a contributing member to your community and society. I've seen you arguing for social justice and truly begin understanding that your voice as a white male should be used to promote equality in the world. I've seen you embrace the friends that need your kindness and understanding and begin to weed out those who do not share your basic fundamental values. While Dad and I are here to teach you, both you and Jules have developed independent minds and are now teaching us as well. As much as I think I'm the cool mom, your generation still is very different from mine. You guys face challenges, pressures, and realities that we've never seen. We rely on the two of you to also teach us new and compassionate ways of accepting the people, things, and situations that we never knew about. Nate, you have closed the circle of growth for our household, and I can only hope it continues to go around and around for many years to come. You are fair, compassionate, empathetic, and wise beyond your years. You go to school, religious school, drum lessons, dance, all your after-school activities with enthusiasm and an intent to be awesome at all times. To know you is to love you, and I think everyone here can agree. I don't know what I ever did in my life to deserve or be blessed with you and Jules. I'm gonna lose my eyelashes. You are Dad and I's best friends. We would choose you to hang out with, eat with, or vacation with now and forever. I look forward to watching what you will do with your talents, your ambition, your mind, and your heart. Black Panther was a movie that our whole family loved, kind of a part of our Markman Disney blood. Therefore, the recent death of Chadwick Boseman hit us all hard. It was a reminder that everyone, everywhere, every day is fighting a battle that we don't see. And therefore, it is a reminder that life is short, to love one another, to never let a day go by without showing your appreciation or making someone laugh. While reading the postmortem articles about him, I came across a quote that immediately made me think of you, Nate. In an interview a few years ago when no one knew he was ill, he said, "When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left, and I can say, I used everything you gave me." Nate, use it all, every bit of it, because you've been blessed. You've been put on this earth to uplift and to make people happy. You truly are a gift of God, and may that guide you every moment of your life because the world needs it. I'm crying.